Welcome to the Unclehack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Welcome back to the shittiest podcast on the planet. I'm your host, Uncle Hack. Everybody get up. It's time to jam down, right? Something like that. Who gives a fuck? What do I got for you? Let's fucking talk about it. Stand-up dates. July 2nd, there is a Danger Room in Calgary, Alberta. Your boy won't be there, but as always, still got to advertise, got to put on for the brand. I'm out of town for this one. July 7th and 8th, we are in Edmonton with Uncle Laser and Jason Rouse. And then July 9th in Calgary with Jason Rouse and Uncle Laser. August 27th. Danger Room in Edmonton, and September 24th, Vancouver, British Columbia. You can get tickets at dangercatshop.com, except for the July 9th date for the Calgary Yuck Yucks show. Yeah, tickets available at the Yuck Yucks website, daddy. Also, anybody who becomes a Patreon member is automatically entered into the Cooler Scooter giveaway. That's right, 49 cc's, baby. 49 cc's, DUIs complimentary of your boy. Okay, let's get into the episode. Let's have some fun. Let's kick our feet up and enjoy yourself. You know, I see too many people getting fired up these days. They're charged up, and myself included, you know, or else I wouldn't be talking about this right now. I wouldn't be upset about this right now. There wouldn't be an issue to me. But you see, here's the one thing that just gets me, man. I can't handle everything that's going on these days. And I'm trying to I'm trying to have a voice of reason inside my head, but it's rather difficult, you know? I'm trying to see myself like not caring, but it's difficult, you know? This month is a tough month, especially when you're straight as hell like me, man. Every day, the devil's tempting me with gay sex. Everywhere I look, there's parades for it, you know? The fucking swimsuits for kids are turning gay. Everything is gay. It's beyond imaginable. I can show you the world. And even in my hometown, you know? In my hometown, that was the one thing I forgot to bring up as I'm rambling. Let's get the photo up before my hometown, my blessed hometown had a, you're not going to believe this, had a drag time story hour at the local library in Taber, Alberta, which I find hilarious, you know? I mean, it's funded by the federal government. It's like mandatory, I think, at this time now to like have a drag queen come down. But the funniest part is they brought in like they imported a drag queen. Now, when I say the Filipinos are taking all the jobs, I'm dead serious at this point. Good on you. They've infiltrated the system. They got all the jobs, right down to drag queen. And I was looking at it and I was like, because, you know, like some little Filipinos, they're pretty like feminine, you know, in their looks and their voice. They're very soft spoken. So when they talk, you know, you're confused. That was the smartest idea they could have done is to soften the blow. Instead, like, you know, you see these drag queens, they come in and look like fucking, I don't know, henchmen for a Disney character, you know, for a Disney villain, I should say. They come in, their shoulders like are rolling over. They walk like a fucking pit bull in high heels, makeup looking like Ursula. You know, it's a terrifying sight to see. And then this little Filipino comes in like a nice little princess costume from the Philippines. And you're scratching your head and be like, they got me with this one. I don't know if that's man or lady. I don't know if this is this princess story time or is it drag story time? We don't know. I'm looking at the photo. I'm trying to decipher. I'm looking for bulges where they shouldn't be. When you're a lady, you know, I'm overanalyzing this thing. I'm looking at it like a CIA or a CSI process. I guess CIA works as well. A CSI investigation. I'm trying to figure out. And then I hear a little clip, and I'm listening to the fella read, and I'm like, still got me. And everybody's upsetty spaghetti about it, right? They're outside with the signs. And I say, you know, this is good for the community. At least everybody knows where the library is. You know, I lived there a total of 22 years of my life. Never once set foot inside of the Tabor Public Library. Even after it was rebuilt, okay? Even after it was rebuilt, never set foot inside that joint. And the pictures inside of the Drag Time Story, it's all adults in there. There was 2 kids. It's hilarious. The adults are now in my town are so bored. They're like, yeah, this will get me off. You know, this will get me going. This will, you know, raise my flag. I can go in there. I'll be able to handle this. This is A-okay with me. There was 3 kids. There was more protesters outside than there was people in listening to the Drag Time Story Hour, you know? And at this point, you know, it's not even like we're going to educate you. You know, those people, we're going to educate you. It's like, hey, no one fucking cares, all right? You already got enough bad press. Cool it. Just do it secretly, you know? But then you have government-funded operations like the Tabor Library bringing in the Drag Time Story Hour, and they're like, fuck, man, we can't do nothing about it. The federal government, that's allegedly what I've heard, is that the federal government came down, slammed the book down, and they're like, you have to have this. And then they're like, oh, fuck, this isn't going to go well. We're not happy to do this. And then you got fucking the town divided, and everybody's fucking, fuck you, fuck me, fuck you, hey, oh, Trudeau's good to go. That's happening outside. And then Filipinos inside, and everybody's playing guess the gender game. Asians, by the way. Probably the best when it comes to trans, anything crossing over the gender spectrum, the fucking chromosome spectrum, you know? When the trains collide and somebody says, I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to switch up on them. I'm switching up on the ops. Click, click, boom. Cock gone. You're like, still like, there was a saying that I heard. I think it was by Confucius, right? If she's a 10 in Thailand, that's a guy. And I believe that when he wrote that back in the 1700s or whenever he was kicking it on the planet and giving us advice for the future, right? How to live your life correctly. If she's a 10 in Thailand, she's got a cock, right? Confucius said that. And now we're all Confucius still about what the hell he mean by that. That's what I found wild. Down in Tabor, they're giving free lessons. More people outside. Here we go. Protest. This is 3 days ago. But we'll get that going. Protest.
A spread from M&M Food Market.
Get the fuck? Why?
There's not a burger joint in town that would allow a topping pile this unhinged.
Shut the fuck up. We're trying to be rude here, M&M Foods. Here we go.
Unfortunately, we've received some backlash with a whole bunch of misinformation.
It's been a controversial time for drag queens reacting to rallies against them. Drag Queen Storytime is happening at the Tabor Public Library on Saturday, and organizers are bracing for protests.
It's not for those to decide how others raise their children. If
a lot of misinformation. That one gets thrown around a lot. As soon as you're like on the ropes, you just can you can defend yourself by what you're reading is misinformation. I like that move. I like that move because it's cheap and it's easy. You know, it's a quick fix. It's duct tape on a fucking hole in your boat. You know, as soon as you throw that one around, everybody's, oh, hey, misinformation. And then you're arguing about who's right and who's wrong rather than the issue at hand. I like that move. I do. I got to start pulling that. What you're reading is misinformation. If anything, if I got to get out of a lie or any sort of this, like I could be fucking caught in 4K getting sucked off by a transsexual in a back alley, and I'll be like, that right there, misinformation. Okay, that's misinformation. That's a deep fake. We all know that's a deep fake.
What one is doing is in the best interest of the kid, and it's not harming anyone.
Organizers of the Tabor protests say they want to protect all children. Sarah Penner declined our request for an interview, instead providing a statement to Global News.
Nice.
It reads in part, quite simply, we don't believe this is an event for children. No matter how innocent the opposition will make it sound, we believe it is too sexual in nature for children. The two sides held a meeting in May to discuss their views, but it ended with both the reading and protest moving ahead. Those protesting say they want to keep it respectful. We are lucky to live in a country where we have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to peaceful protest. My hope is that the protest will be held with peace and respect and come from a place of love, Penner added. The local Pride community is hoping for the same as their events move forward.
If they feel that's what they need to do, then you're more than welcome to. Just let's keep everything peaceful and agree to disagree.
The pushback.
dude, this is why small towns are fucking awesome. Okay. See, did you hear her? That's the opposite. That's the ops, son. That's the ops, son. No, I'm fucking around. That is fucking so funny that small towns are more reasonable than the big cities. You know what I mean? Because every time I've seen some protesting going on, it's just people screaming at one another. And they're like, both sides are like, yeah, and we're just a little bored right now, so we're going to bring in a drag queen, right? And fucking she's going to read. I just, it's cool if they want to protest, but let's not fist fight, right? I still got to see you at the local co-op. I don't want to fucking have to, bashfully fucking look the other way because you and I got in a fist fight because a Filipino drag queen that I thought was a lady in the beginning, I thought was a lady, but now we got to when I reach for an apple and you reach for an apple and then we both grab the same apple at the same time at the local co-op, we got to be like, oh, fuck. Do I got to go the other way? Small towns rule. I'm tired of fucking hearing about big city idiots just always telling, hey, they're all racist and rednecks. Look at that. Do you see how easy that was? Yeah, sure, they can fucking protest. You get these lunatics with the 5G rotting their brains and shit. Here we go. And they all gather together, and it doesn't matter what side they're on. They're all maniacs. You seen outside that Calgary school. We played it on here. Excuse me, ma'am. There was like a misgendering probably takes place at least 1,000 times a day at Tabor. You'd be like, the lady that was talking there, short hair, lip rings and all that, could pass for the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, is all I'm saying. I'm trying to describe emo is just taking shape of Pride now. They've taken, and it's just slightly different is the aesthetic of it, When I was growing up, I was hard all the time. Okay. You understand me? I was rock solid. Puberty, no, I'm kidding. When I was a wee lad, I was super into fucking hardcore music, and it was tight jeans, long hair, fucking. If tonight will be the night that you will suck me off. That type of shit. I was hell into it. Skateboarding, you name it, loved it. And now the aesthetic has been taken over by you just got to switch it up. And it fucking rules that small towns are just showing, but then the news goes ahead and it's they're fucking planning a protest. And then everybody in the town is just listen, all right, no fighting, okay? No fighting. Nobody here isn't even drunk yet. What's the point? Why the hell would we fist fight? We're not even hammered. You want to do this sober? You want to fist fight sober? That's a stupid decision. Just let us protest. Everybody was on board for it. Hey, come on down. Make a sign. We don't give a shit. Well done. Well done. Setting a fucking example. In fact, I want to hear that again.
We don't believe this is an event for children. No matter how innocent the opposition will make it sound, we believe it is too sexual in nature for children. The two sides held a meeting in May to discuss their views, but it ended with both the reading and protest going ahead. Those protesting say they want to keep it respectful. We are lucky to live in a country where we have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to peaceful protest. My hope is that the protest will be held with peace and respect and come from a place of love, the statement from Penner added. The local Pride community is hoping for the same as their events move forward.
If they feel that's what they need to do, then you're more than welcome to. Just let's keep everything peaceful and agree to disagree.
The pushback is nothing new for drag readings in Canada. Cities like Calgary, Edmonton, and Kelowna have all recently seen protests at events. This all comes as the month of June marks Pride Month, a time to honor and celebrate the LGBTQ2S+ community. Eric Bay, Global News.
Jesus Christ, that is rich. That is rich. You don't get better than that. You just don't. I'm sorry, folks. I know that this audience probably doesn't really, if you're tuning into the unclehack podcast, you're probably going to be outside with a sign, right? You're going to be outside with a sign. You're not going to be soaking in a story. So, maybe my stance on this is like I've gotten to the place now. I don't know where I fall politically. I don't know where I fall morally anymore. I'm just a lost soul living in a fishbowl, Floyd Pink, baby. I'm Floyd Pink. That's what I'm doing. I know I fucked the name up. It was deliberate, okay? I'm trying to piss everybody off these days. June is now this is what's reported in the article. June is Pride Month, but as advocates in one community prepare to celebrate, one of their events is being met with pushback. And then you listen to them talk. This is why we got to cut out the media. The media just inflates everything. They're like, there's going to be pitchforks. They want fags' heads on a stick. And you can buy a ticket right here. Be sure to subscribe to our monthly subscription to Global News. Tune in tonight as the fags meet the rednecks in an all-out brawl in the streets of Taber, Alberta. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mark Campbell, signing out, brother. The opposition centers around a drag queen story time event in Taber this weekend. As Eric Bay reports, it won't be the first time an event like this has been met with opposition. Right? Here we go. Okay, it was just the video. That's all you needed. That's just what I find funny, is small towns now are meeting each other with kindness and respect, even though they have disagreeing opinions of what's about to take place, both sides. Isn't that nice that you can disagree with somebody without having to fucking scream in their face or act like a lunatic because, hey, excuse me, ma'am. Get the fuck out of here. God bless that town. God bless that town. Everybody wants to shit on it from time to time. And if you just go and experience the life of a small community, you would understand that you have to you got to run into these people. Okay. It's easy in a city to throw a brick in somebody's face and just be and yell a slur now, or just rip whatever you want. Now, if you say that in Taber, you're probably going to meet him at the gas pump. You might get into a fist fight on the side of the highway. Who knows, right? You're in the local co-op about to grab a box of Fruit Loops. Next thing you know, you got to suplex them through the banana stand. Look like Stone Cold and Booker T when they were in the supermarket that one time. You remember that little fucking outside match? Dumping milk on them. They're smashing fucking cakes over each other's heads. It was out of control. Not my town. I'm proud to say I'm from there. I'm proud. I am proud. You know what? Something like that, I love to kick back and enjoy a laugh at the expense of my fellow fellow citizens of the small community of Taber. There we go. And they never surprise me, That's the joy of being. That's why I'm telling you, the smaller communities, they understand it. They understand it. There's gays there. There might not have been gays there for a moment, but they're there. They're there. Maybe a little more closeted for the fear of me. Oh, this is because of media like that. But then like somebody comes out and be like, I'm gay, and like we knew, you know. Oh, surprise! You don't think we knew? Come on, I've known you for 20 years, pal, and you're coming out now, dude. I've never seen you with a woman ever. Okay, ever. You have an incredible sense of fashion. All right. Your music taste doesn't really align with mine. All right. There's just certain things that you do in how you express yourself, or even just the way you walk, you know, where we knew. That's why I like a small town. Right there. The big city, they'll never understand. What do you mean you can just have an event like that and everybody can gather and disagree and have civil conversation, even though, you know, we're on opposite sides of the fence? And you can, and then later, I bet you later, they were like, hey, what do you say we go to the fucking Royal and just have a couple beers? That was fun, wasn't it? Yeah. It's like LARPing for them. You know, everybody meets up at the local provincial park, has a little LARP sesh. We're killing knights and shit with foam swords. And then afterwards, even though, or even use a hockey game. Why did I go to the extent of LARPing? Because I guess LARPing, you got a woman LARPing as or a dude LARPing as a woman to read stories to kids, and then like the outside would be like the revolution that's kind of taking place. So inside you can play this game of, it's all fantasy world shit, and then once that's done and it's dropped, it's like, hey, well, that was fun. What do you say we all gather, have a beer at the local tavern down at the Royal Hotel? Shout out to the Royal Hotel. Genius. That's how you get it done, folks. That's why I like a small town. Another thing, you know what? Another thing that I was thinking about last night prior to this podcast is like, here's the irritating part about what's taking place for me, anyways. I don't know. I'm just speaking on behalf of myself. I'm not going to start, you know, trying to put, oh, this is how you got to think. I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of these people yelling at you. This is how you got to think, bro. You know. Everywhere, yeah, fucking this is what you gotta do, bro. You got the red pill dogs trying to like, hey, women are horse, bro. They all fucking hate you. They fucking you know. And then the opposite side is like, men are evil. Wow. I'm exhausted from it. You know, nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change without violence. And I don't want to see violence, but I'm sorry, but just standing outside with signs. You see how civil both sides were acting now, regardless of, we didn't get to hear the other person who's like opposing the Drag Time Story Hour. They didn't get to hear their voice or tone, but judging by that letter and what I seen online, it was just dudes and their wives hanging out with signs out front of the library. And didn't seem, no fights, no nothing. Inside, the story time took place. It was very civil. Both sides just like, whatever. There was no like screaming in the face of the drag queen to make sure that, hey, we're going to lynch you. You know? There was none of that. But it's just, I was thinking of this, right? And I don't know if this is funny or not, but it is in my head. Because in grade 5 is when sex ed was first introduced to me. That's when it was first introduced. And they separated us. Boys and girls had to go in separate classrooms and learn about, you know, the anatomy, puberty. Because you know, at that age, that's where shit's going to start changing. And they don't want to just throw you in a blind, dark tunnel and be like, listen, your pussy's going to start bleeding. You're going to start getting hard because your fellow classmates are going to grow titties and you're not going to know what's going on. This little thing called testosterone is going to change you chemically. All of a sudden, things are going to change. You know that little friend Susie that you like to go over and play with? Well, yeah, you're going to want to, instead of playing in the sandbox, you're going to want to play with just her box. Okay? And things are going to change. Dynamics are going to change. You might have grown up with be best friends, and now all of a sudden you're looking at her like a piece of meat because your body's changing. Okay? Sarah's over there. Her pussy started bleeding. She doesn't know what's going on, right? And we had to separate. And that was in grade 5. I just find it a little odd that we're like, hey, we got to paint the fucking elementary school pride. It's got to be gay as hell in here for a whole month. Right before you guys are about to leave for summer vacation, it's going to be gay as hell. School's already gay. Now you're like gay 2.0, you know? School is, I never really enjoyed it. It was just a fun suck, you know? You'd want to be like, hey, I want to go play some kickball. No, you got to learn what algebra is. It's like, I'm 4 years fucking old. What the fuck are we going to do with algebra? Okay. I'm 32. I don't even know what the fuck algebra is anymore. You know, if you put algebra in front of me, I'd be like, what fuck? And you just put the word algebra. I'd be like, what ISIS fucking leader is this? Which ISIS leader is this? And are we going to get him the fuck out of here? Oh my God. You know, speaking of women making a decision, my sister's just fucking, holy hell. One second. There we go. But that's the problem with the education system is, it's gay now. It's actually gay now, okay? Your children, gay. Teachers, gay as hell. School system, gayer. The secretary, flaming. But I just found that out. And then the thing that was making me laugh is like, if they still had to do that, if you had to like, because like, it is funny that now we're just inventing things as they come and be like, well, I'm not binary. So now they got to separate the genders and that everybody has their own little gender. And then the school system and like the school boards collapse and due to the fact that there's no financial aid coming to help by bringing in enough teachers. So that way the children, you know, can get an individual lesson on what is about to happen to them. Even though you're a they, her, this is, you know, you got to separate. Well, I don't even know all the genders. From what I understand, right? Trans men, trans women, men, non-binary. So you're in the middle. I'm at 5. I've heard there's 32. That's where I cap out. That's where I'm done. Okay. I'm trying. I'm swinging at the plate here. Now, this is when the 3 strikes come. Boom, boom, boom. What's another one? Don't know. So it was just hilarious in my head, the idea of like the school boards having to hire more teachers to come in and teach sexual education. And it just got to, okay, well, the non-binaries go in this classroom and you ran out of classrooms. You got to build more. The infrastructure in all these towns and cities across the country are now it's severely in debt. The school board and school districts are just severely in debt due to the fact that they cannot afford to bring in enough teachers to teach the children about sex education. Then one person stood up and they were like, I have an idea. What if we make them all gay? And the teachers look and they're like, whoa, every kid gay? And they're like, yeah. What do you think about that idea? I'm going to be honest with you. You're a goddamn animal. You're insane for thinking this. You want to turn all the kids gay? Every single one of them. What are we going to do about the future? And they're like, think about this. Then there is no future. Like it's some sort of like it's some sort of fucking, you know, Despicable Me villain. I will turn the whole village gay. A whole month? Jeez Louise. It's a long time. We're 6 days in. I'm starting to get a little gay myself, you know, drinking soda waters like they're going out of style these days. Bud Light. What about, I was drinking a Bud Light. That one's the funniest. That one is the funniest. How? You know, everything's gay. Target's gay. We get it. You know, swimsuits for kids that are tucking their genitals. I don't know what's going on. Harley Davidson's gay now. They went woke, so all the Harley riders, once you get off that hog, and I ain't talking to your motorcycle, brother, you go over, turn over, you'll be screaming eagle yourself, all right, brother? You want to ride a hog, and then get off that dick, and then go and fire up a Harley Davidson, and get yourself some Screaming Eagle exhaust pipes on it that'll rattle your asshole back to good shape, baby, and you can get pounded all night. I don't get it. It's easy to understand when you're looking at like all these institutions that are popping up, like the Human Rights Tribunal has got together. It's just new organizations created by the elite to impose more power over top of you, and yet we sit back and we just let them take control. You know, Jesus take the wheel instead of Jesus. It's now a company called BlackRock. They're in Vanguard. They're invested in everything. They own all the fucking infrastructure. They own all the corporations. They own all the products. They have their fingertips in fucking everything. They're majority stakeholders in most companies. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. You know, the military industrial complex, their fingertips are fucking deep in there, okay? War is money. And if you don't think Vanguard and BlackRock don't have a big stake in Lockheed Martin, you're out of your goddamn mind. It's so easy to go and fucking find this information, but yet we deprive ourselves of it, right? We sit back and we just make it easier to... We just try to make our lives easier to live, which is, you know, it's hilarious in a weird roundabout way. In a weird roundabout way, because there's new rules brought forth. There's a new style of how you can live and feel like a moral, like you're superior in a moral sense. That's the payoff now. It's like allowing the rich and the elite, because democracy is clearly dead. You know. It's clearly dead. The illusion of choice just sits in front of us, and we parade around as we gather around these other human beings that pretend to have our interests at heart. They pretend, and they pit each other against us or against one another. And we sit back and we allow them to do this and play to our emotion on like what we agree with, what we don't agree with. But then I don't know. I don't know when I woke up to this idea. I've always like had a certain suspicion over democracy, and I think that is due to getting into George Carlin's comedy early in life. And I was like, this guy questions a lot of things. He looks at things, and then conspiracy theories came out, you know, and they were enjoyable. I was always fascinated to be like, oh, there's a whole new world to this. There's something much larger than myself. No matter what I do, I'm just like a drop in the bucket. And, you know, and as more drops of something else get added, like maybe oil that starts to separate the water, and then you put a different oil in there, like a vegetable oil in the what's thick or what isn't. That's like... That's us in class systems. And, you know, when you can play to characteristics that you can see, like race, religion, sexuality, because sexuality now is expressed through fucking vibrant colors all over your body, right? So you can be like, faggot. You can just yell, fucking faggot. You just yell that, and then next thing you know, you're in a full-blown argument with another human being over... Come on, like some shit that kind of doesn't matter. You know, the gays fought so hard in the 80s just to be like, listen, we want a space where we can go meet other gays and then go and fucking trade AIDS with one another. Can you leave us alone? And then that happened. And then like this new wave this new wave just came around, and it's something like almost more sinister. You know, it's like, it's not even acceptance anymore. It's like moved past that, and it's now into like it's indoctrination at a high degree, and not in all forms. Most gay dudes that I know are just like, leave me be. I just want to be a homosexual over here. You know, one of my really good buddies out in British Columbia, of all places. I'm just fucking around. He grew up in Alberta, but he's about as gay as you're gonna get. And that dude is cool as hell. Farmer, you know, rad as fuck. his viewpoints of the world never agree with the gay community, you know, and he's too gay for like ultra conservatives to really like him. So he falls in this weird middle class of people, you know, and quite honestly, the funny part is like, that's a vast majority of people. They just want a lot of shit to stay out of their lives. Just like, don't fuck with me. And now it's constantly fucking with you. It's on the TV. Your favorite beer can is now like, it's trans. You need to, like, there's a lesson to be learned from all these products that are poisoning the public. I don't understand that. That's what gets me. It's just these morals, you know, like charging up, you're wrong, I'm right, shit, with products that are designed to poison you. You know? So when that starts happening, like I was talking about earlier, with like these organizations like BlackRock that are heavily invested in a lot of the industry that's taking place on the planet, it comes down from there. There's like this ESG score, and then if you don't align, now you get bailouts, and if you're environmentally friendly, if you're helping move society forward. And Larry Flink, the CEO of BlackRock, is like, you have to force these ideas and ideologies on them. And you're seeing that. It has nothing to do with, you know, a lot of this you can see doesn't have a lot to do with the gay community. They're just like, they're the cannon fodder of like, how far can we push this? You know, how far can we, and like, can we indoctrinate people into just accepting it? Because if we can make that happen, then there's other shit falling behind that, which is crazy. You know, I sound like a lunatic, but it's very evident at this point that it's not so much that you're just witnessing the gays trying to take over. It's just, okay, this has been something that's been highly disagreed upon for how long? A long fucking time. It's same with racism, or just, you know, like, quote unquote systemic racism. And don't worry, I'm not about to give you a fucking lesson on how to live your life. This is what I see, and this is what I fucking think inside my head. All right? I'm not about to sit here and be the moral fucking compass of your life. All right? I'm not going to tell you how to think. I think that's retarded. I truly do. And I just do this for fun. I love sitting back and just talking shit. That's what I like. These are just like, this is essentially what you're witnessing right now. Is if there was a steering wheel in front of me and my windshield was right there, right? This is just me talking to myself. It clearly is. And then I put it out there. You listen, and it's like, this guy's a fucking lunatic for doing this once a week, right? But this is like, this is just, these are thoughts that I have in my head when I see something like that, and it's like, the general public was probably going to think like this. Then you're going to have pushback. Then it creates a distraction. Government bodies are then able to push bills through that just impose more power over your life. And then we're sitting here and we're like, oh, well, what happened? I was like, well, we're too busy fucking yelling at the drag queen at a local library reading to 10 people. Okay, that's what we were doing. We were outside yelling at the drag queens because they were reading to 10 people who brought 2 kids there. And now we're sitting here scratching our heads like, how do they fucking censor the internet? You know, how do they get away with this? The Scooby-Doo mystery. That's the part that fucking infuriates me. And I get angry about it. I start losing my mind. I lose my fucking hair. And then I look around and I'd be like, no one else cares. Why do I? You know? Why do I? Why am I the one getting upset? And then I'm yelling at TVs and fucking phone screens like a jackass. Because I can't, like, this is outside of my control. I'm not going to go charging into fucking Parliament to be like, listen, I demand a change. They'd arrest me, throw me in jail, and then hey, look at this lunatic. We gotta put more security on. So it's just like a double-edged sword, no matter which way you go about it, you know. But this is all like a top-down system, right? We all like to. Everybody loves just having a little sense of power, you know. when you get it, it's like you discipline your kids, and not saying everybody gets off on it, right? But there are people, you put them in a management role. What do? Completely abuse it. Completely abuse it. They're yelling at fucking 14-year-olds because they're they're 45 managing the local pizza joint and be like, you're sweeping the floor wrong. And it's like, does that yeah, I get it. We got to be sanitary in here because we're serving food. But like, I didn't know that there was a system specifically designed for me to run a fucking broom. Get off my ass, you fucking loser. Listen, let's be honest. If I stick with this, I'm looking in the mirror and that's what I'm going to be. I get to impose. I can just instill fear into teens that are just trying to make a few extra bucks so they can put weed in their pocket. Wow. What a fucking dude. Teach me your ways, But instead, like, we'd rather infight because we can see it. We can see physical difference. We can see sexual difference in others. So it's easier to be like, that guy is the one that's making my life harder. When in reality, the person that you should be yelling at is probably donning a suit somewhere inside your local jurisdiction, inside of your community. That moron. And then to go even further, that moron has to answer to somebody above him. And then there's somebody above him. And where does it end? It ends with the people that have the largest amount of dollars inside their bank accounts, that and even corporations included, those ones who are imposing or directing the change that's taking place. But instead, you want to look at your fellow neighbor like they have the power above you. Be like, oh yeah, you're the reason why the kids are gay, But it has to come from somewhere. And when nobody says nothing about it, So that's where my give a fuck has ran out, I've turned into, this is what I've realized. I've turned into, when I go out now, obviously I've slowed down on the drinking. There was a few years there where I was just, let's just say I like to let my hair down from time to time and really destroy my own life. I like to fucking drive that cocksucker deep into the stratosphere and claw my way out. Because that, my friend, makes for an exciting life. You gotta feel stress. You gotta feel like a loser, Nothing. Digging yourself out of a coke-low. Pooh. You want to try your might and will. Oh boy, get yourself one of them. I don't recommend it. It's not for the mentally weak, I will say. It is not for those who've got maybe some problems going on and they might want to disappear. I mean, if you're going to kill yourself, at least have the human decency to not allow the government to do it, Do it yourself. The last thing, could you imagine? The maids program is the last thing. That's what takes you out. The government takes you out. Jeez Louise. Imagine being, and I get like old people just being like, listen, I'm terminally ill. I understand that. Okay. I understand if you have some sort of a form of cancer that is like infiltrated your system and it's depleting you, and you're slowly like, you're just gradually, life is being sucked out of you, and you're like, I gave up. I've done every chemo, everything, But if you're just like a healthy, able body, and you're like, I'm having a tough go, the last person you should allow to kill, at least have the decency to take yourself out, Imagine that. I'm just having a tough time. I'm going to allow the government to do that so I can be another drain on the system. One last time. What do you say, folks? I know, that's evil. That's evil. I had to turn it around. I was getting too depressing on here. Talking about, listen, do you know who's rich, who's not? This is another reason why I have a problem with these fucking red pill losers. Okay? There's another one I came across. His YouTube channel is Modern Life Dating. And I I know that this audience I know that those that listen to this, maybe you're into it, maybe you're not. I don't know. Some people need help, some people don't. All I'm saying is if you need help, go get it. I'm not saying don't go get it. If you feel the need that one of these guys is going to lift you up out of the hole, by all means. This Andrew Tate shit is funny now at this point, because it's just, you're selling an empty life. All you're doing is replacing your sadness and trying to put it with motivation of some sort, with desire of materialistic things, or even just like then becoming this entity that is even more just a horrible person to be around, an insufferable being to be around, and listen to them talk about their things. Those guys. We've talked about them on this show. You're sitting in a garage and be like, yeah, I just bought a brand new F-350, put 35s on it. What do you think about that? I put a brand new deck in it. Didn't need a new deck. I put subs in it. Know how much that cost me? $120,000 just for the tires. Now, the lift kit cost me an additional $1 million. It's just like there's a price tag and like some sort of material item. And meanwhile, you and your one buddy were just sitting there. You were having a nice conversation and be like, whose tits would you rather massage? Rosie O'Donnell or Oprah? Go. And you have to debate that and be like, whoa. You're just dropping a bombshell on me like that? Whose tits would I rather massage for an hour? Rosie O'Donnell, and then you get in that debate. That's fun guy conversation. Hey, you're not going to believe this. I bought this truck. I got this. I got that. I got fucking women sucking on my dong all fucking weekend because I go into the club and flash money. And you're like, Jesus Christ, can somebody put a bullet in this guy? Just horrible to be around. That's the problem, is like that red pill fucking, and that's an overtaken word from the movie The Matrix, right? Red pill, blue pill. You take the red pill, you go this way. Now this red pill shit is just like morons, morons that have adopted this masculinity to sell programs to weak, vulnerable males. Instead, to me, the most noble thing to do would be to offer this information for free, so that way we can further ourselves as men. But what they do is sell you a $200 fucking course, so that way you can be like me, bro. I got nice cars. I got great women around me all the time. This one fucking idiot, he's sitting here, he's trying to teach you about fitness. First video on his YouTube channel is him getting liposuction. All right. So when I see these guys and they're trying to just indoctrinate dudes in their fucking program that they made with no backlog, no fucking, there's no case studies done. They haven't even, they themselves aren't even taking their own fucking advice. And then you got a jackass like this that's out here, fitness, I'm going to teach you about fitness. And he's getting his guts sucked out like some fucking, insecure woman in Los Angeles. Get the fuck out of here. I'm so tired of these losers. They're losers. This is what I like about the Danger Cats audience, is that you guys actually have a sack of nuts. And if there's a problem, there's obviously a solution, because most of you, I assume, work in blue collar industries. And when a plan is set forth in front of you of like, this is the job, this is what we got to do, this is how we complete it, right? And from start to finish, there might be, problems that are caused, and that could be socially or even on the job itself. But there's an answer to everything. And you know that you can solve that by simply just finding the fix. This idiot right here takes the shortcut, Should I be mad about this? No. The only thing I'm pissed off about is the fact that a moron like this feels it's necessary to charge you $250 fucking dollars for a 20-minute phone call with him. That's what annoys me, because there are young men that are like looking up to this idiot and being like, oh, this is the way to do it. This guy seems to have it figured out. He's got pictures in front of a Porsche that he rented for the day. Oh, he's got pictures of him traveling all over the world. Yeah, because he's convinced you, who's looking at their life as if it's like depressing to be in your shoes. You think it's a genius idea to hand him money. Now he travels around the world and flexes in front of you being like, you can be like me. It makes no sense. And how young dudes is like, that's the thing. That's why I like grandpa's era, you know? Because you just called one another. You got the work done. I want to be a comedian. So what do? I put the work in. I go to fucking open mics. I go and do the show. And if the show's bad, then I feel bad. I go back to the drawing board. And it's this vicious circle. There's still work to be done. It's not as physical as it once was, you know? The work that I do now is more mental. I got to write. I got to craft this shit. I got to take it to stage and then figure it the fuck out and present it as like a well-crafted joke. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I am a wonderful comedian. I'm the best comedian. In fact, all comedians should be like me because that's just the way it should be because I'm the greatest to ever live, okay? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you that I am the best, but I'm just telling you the process that takes place. So it's very similar to, you know, martial arts or, you know what, even to the degree of whatever job that you have, okay? Specifically blue-collar guys that are listening to this. You know, you first get to the job site, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Your first day, someone's fucking yelling at you, grab that broom, sweep that, do this. And then, you know, your second week, you know, okay, this is my job list. This is what I got to make sure happens. And then the third week, they're like, okay, come here. We're going to teach you something because we need help. And you learn a new skill. And then as your skills start the skills in your tool chest start accumulating, then a pay raise comes, and then, you know, you become better at your job, and it's like rewarding. Before you know it, you're running a fucking crew, or you're a journeyman, whatever it may be, and that's the rewarding part. This is such an empty, shallow fucking these videos that are sold to you, to young guys. Just, it irritates me because there's an empty life behind that, because then you're left just chasing materialistic horse shit. You have this ideology that's like dying, essentially. You know, I think this old guard mentality is slowly drifting away, unfortunately, because I'm a huge fan of it. I just like, you know, I want to be able to blow my gasket and be like, fucking, you are a moron, you're an idiot, but I can't, okay? But in comedy, somebody says something stupid to me on stage, then I get, because it's funny. You know, people like watching people lose their fucking minds. It's hilarious sometimes. And we certainly we love it when somebody's getting a public tongue lashing. There's like oh shit, you know, everybody like perks up. It's like when you're watching a UFC fight and somebody gets tagged and they put them on Queer Street. Everybody gets like, they grab like the arms of their chair. Oh shit, here we go. Somebody's getting fucked up. You know, you want to see people get verbally fucked up from time to time. And I love doing it. And it comes from a place of love. Like, I'm not sitting here and I don't wish anything malicious on anybody, but I love just talking shit. And that mentality is slowly drifting away. You know, we've peeled it back. And we're slowly, you know, we're renovating the house. And that house is how we talk to one another inside this big, beautiful earth that we reside on, right? This big, beautiful blue earth, this big, beautiful, flat earth. And how we communicate with one another. And that's not specific to, you know, any region, but over here in North America, we're really trying to be very kind to one another. And it's just not fucking working. And the more you do it, and the more you put these new positions at jobs, you know, like your HR. If HR has to talk to you, yeah, you got that in your back pocket at all times. If HR has to talk to you, it's not going to be good. So you're scared to say these things now, you know? And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm leaning more so to a bad thing, because we're just seeing like people's brains go fucking nuts. You know, we're seeing like the true, when you're forced inside a box and you got to act a certain way. You know, they tried doing that with you the moment that you step foot in kindergarten. Take your dreams, throw them out the window. We need people stocking shelves at the local co-op. So some of you might go on and be something, but some of you are never going to leave this town, okay? So get comfortable, say. You got dreams? Give them to me. They're going in the trash. I don't know. Maybe I'm the wild one for thinking that. But like I say, we're slowly watching the old guard style of thinking of like being brass and stoic, and we're trying to bring it back. Men are trying to bring it back, but they do it in the form of a fucking $200 fucking phone call on a Zoom call. Not even a phone, like not even on the phone. Doesn't take your number so that way you can like communicate. No. It's a Zoom call. And you sit there and you be like, what is your problems? And I'll dive into it for $200 goddamn dollars. So when trying to, when these idiots pop up, they irritate me because the youth, you know, they're looking for a way. They're asking for a way. Clearly, if they're going to hand him $200 fucking dollars to try and figure this shit out. And when it's right there, it's right there. The easiest solution is to just teach these young guys, you know, some lessons that have been passed down to you from other males and like good life advice. You know, think of it like a strainer, okay? As long as we're straining out all the bad shit and throwing it out, we're going to just get a nice pure fucking stream of information that we can just keep passing down. But instead, no, we got to block it because some dudes don't have $200 and they're not going to hand it to some moron like this. In fact, it's going to go to shit like, hey, fucking, I need to buy diapers because I knocked up a girl when I was 19 and I'm fucking doing everything I possibly can to make sure the relationship works. There's a stack of problems. Some dudes get themselves into a little bit of a mess and that's fine. That's life, brother. It's okay. There's no right or wrong way of living this shit. But, look up to some moron that's going to flash cars and like not even, it's like right at you. You give this guy money for advice and then he's standing in front of a fucking Ferrari. It's the most like grotesque way of living. To me anyways. I like to keep my means pretty simple. I don't like flashy shit. I've worn the same fucking t-shirts that I have been in my closet for the past 4 years. I'm not one to go out and get fancy fucking, these are Gucci shoes. I just don't find any allure to any of that. It just doesn't excite me, you know? When it's like, yeah, it's a Versace shirt. I don't get that. I don't get the appeal to that. There's nothing cool to it. Ooh, look at this guy. Ooh, Versace. Wow. You know? So that's why these guys irritate me, is they take your money and then they flaunt it in front of you. As soon as you hand it to them, boom, picture of like, just got a brand new suit that cost me $13,000. As they manipulate young men into thinking that what this guy is doing is like not only morally correct, but also like listen, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know so that way you can be better. Ugh, disgusts me. But anyways, guess what? Now that I got some hate out of my heart, it's time to get some hate out of your heart. That's right. We're changing our attitude around here. I don't know. Sometimes I think to myself, like, Brendan, are you on the right path? Are you doing the right thing? Sometimes you get so excited on this show, you start talking, and maybe you don't know the words that should come out next, and it's like a fucking puzzle piece that you just can't figure out. It's like giving a fucking Down syndrome kid a Rubik's Cube. But that's why we have hate mail, so that way you can join the fun. You know, that's what we do. You can email me, unclehack, at dangercats.tv. You can get yourself a lovely little fucking piece of hate mail aired on this show just by writing in and using the subject line hate mail. That's the joy of it. You just write in. We read, we read this anonymously. If you want your name, just attach it to it. That's the joy of this show. That's how nice I am. That's how nice I am. I'm out here doing this for free. I don't even have sponsorships on the goddamn show, for Christ's sakes. But here I am before you. Oh well, you sassy little devil, you. We're just waiting for this first piece of. Why is this not fucking? What is going on here? You know, my life is falling apart. Slowly in front of your eyes, one podcast at a time. Everything is just crumbling in front of me for your enjoyment. That's See how kind I am? You can watch this and think to yourself like, oh God, I could live like him. I don't have to live like him. And the joy of it. All for you. It's all for you. Why is the internet so slow up here right now? What a joke. There we go. First piece of hate mail, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get into it. Our first piece of hate mail. Hey, Hack. I hope this finds you well. Here's my comment. I've been dating this girl for nearly 2 months and everything is amazing. Before you or your listeners think I'm going to whine about a girl, that's not the case. Let me paint a picture of her. She's 18. Too old. Perfect body. That mom type of body with hips that can't tell a lie. My favorite feature. Oh, this is great. Describing an 18-year-old on the show. This is where I'm at, folks. She's super nice, modest, doesn't argue with me, listens to me. What the fuck is this? What is going on here? Oh my God. Everything is falling apart. My life. Why did it do that? Oh my God. This is just everything I fucking despise. God almighty. I am sorry. All right. I am sorry. One of these days I'll have a fucking functioning computer in here, but I just can't fathom spending the money on a brand new laptop that just solely sits in the podcast studio. I was going to say room, but this is a studio, folks. That's what this is. All right, back to describing an 18-year-old's body, which I am just enthralled to do right now. Doesn't argue with me, listens to me, and her family seems to like me a lot. And then on top of it, she loves to fuck like every day. We have the same interests, and also I'm 21. Before I got in bed with her, I had 2 dates with her, and they were great. Then I caught the flu and strep at the same time. I was sick as fuck for 8 days. On the 9th day, I told her I was feeling better, and she unexpectedly arrived at my apartment with a bag of groceries. She said for me to relax while she cooks. She cooked me the perfect steak with rice and carrots, and then we fucked for 3 hours. And of course, there were water breaks. Haha. And still, to this point, every day, everything is phenomenal. Here is my concern growing up. Growing up, I was always told if something is too good to be true, it often is. Now, should I be worried of that, or should I just enjoy what I have with her and not to think about being a possible trap? Lastly, my ex saw me with her at the gym, and then she commented on my profile, told my friends via direct messages, and kept calling me, accusing me of dating a 14-year-old. She isn't 14. She has her own car, full license, and a full-time job. I've seen her ID too. I thought I'd add that as a funny ending. Also, that Cornwall show was immaculate. And after being a fan since 2017, seeing you live for the first time was a real treat. Now I'm not from Cornwall and I've never been there, but listening from the lads on stage in the crowd, it reminds me a lot of my hometown, Smith Falls. Anywho, thanks a lot. Hack and fuck Trudy. Okay, if something is too good to be true, it often is. That is in terms of business, I would say, because that's how they rope you in. A suit dummy's going to fucking dangle carrots in front of your eyes until you run to them, right? And then they got, I gotcha. Now with pussy, see, here's the problem is right now you possess the power of making this fucking bad. I'll be honest. You know how many, I've probably ruined a few like good girls, just because of my own selfish fucking reasons. I was a young idiot, horny, always looking. I was always looking over the fence. Oh, look at that, more pussy. I love me pussy, and I was a little late to the game on the whole getting pussy thing, right? I was never quite good at it. It was like girlfriend, single for a bit, maybe slay around them, and then I'm like, I'm feeling lonely. It's probably some internal issues with me upstairs that I've never quite figured out. But like now, over time, you sit back, you understand your own mind, your personality, who you are as a human, you know, and once you realize that, then life becomes better. But the people that are always telling you, if it's too good to be true, it often is, are just like sad, lonely fucking losers. And like, look at your ex, okay? Saw that you're happy, got jealous that you're happy, then starts commenting on your profile, then is accusing you of dating a 14-year-old when clearly, obviously, she's not a 14-year-old. It's like trying to impede in your happiness. So when we say that something is too good to be true, that usually means that you're genuinely happy and that you're supposed to, in your mind, start believing that something evil is going to happen. So that way you're always like on alert instead of just enjoying the time. You're a young guy. You should be happy. And you know what? If there is a heartbreak that happens, don't let it taint your fucking character. All right? Don't let it veer you off this path of like, it sounds like you got a good thing going on here, brother. Just enjoy it. You're going to ruin everything that could possibly be fun. And then the idea that this is bad inside your head, or like something bad's going to happen, this is too good, something bad's going to happen, is going to ruin like future opportunities of like true happiness, true bliss, and just hanging and feeling good, my dude. Just relax. Fuck. Don't let these fucking old bastards that are miserable try and deplete you of your happiness. It's no different than the school system when you're like, you know, when you like tell them what your dream is and what you want to do, and they're like, well, maybe you should think about something a little more practical, you know? Have you ever thought about maybe just being a janitor when in reality you're like, I want to race like fucking, I don't know, stock cars. I want to be the best stock car racer in Canada. Well, don't you think that you should do something a little more practical? That's essentially you putting barriers in front of your own happiness due to the fact that you're just thinking constantly that something bad is about to happen. Meanwhile, this girl could she could be the best thing that'll ever happen to you. Just allow it to happen. Don't let the distractions, especially someone like your ex coming in. Oh, those are always fun, right? Coming and poking her nose around, trying to fucking, hey, I think you're doing something wrong. Somebody's always got to be in your fucking ear, you know? That's the problem. Nobody just goes into like, yeah, my dog is happy. I like him. I like the fact that my dude is doing well. Oh, we might have to, I got to wrap this up here. Perfect. Yeah, but you're fine, dude. You're 21. If you're happy, I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. I got 11 years on you. If you're happy, enjoy it. There's nothing better than this, like a young man's excitement of the world. I love seeing it because like this big beautiful flat thing has. I'm going flat earther on y'all too, by the way. But this big beautiful flat thing, you know, there's humans that are set in your path that are designed specifically to destroy your happiness. And if you don't allow it, if you're constantly just shiny, bright, you don't let the world drag you down into misery like the other people that are fucking just, they can't get it together, you know? They're always unhappy. Something's always happening. Oh, my fucking. But look at, now should I be worried of that, or should I just enjoy what I have with her right there? You should just enjoy what you have with her and don't think about it being a possible trap. It's not a fucking trap. Some people, this is what this red pill shit does to young guys. So now they're viewing women as like, oh, this is a trap, you know, instead of like something that's genuinely like it's genuine, it's real. There's emotions attached to it, you know? And like the old guard doesn't want to talk about being happy and shit like that until they get old, you know? And then they have to look back upon their life when that stoicism is like faded away and it's cracked through. And now they got to talk to you and be like, listen, man. And they got to face the reality of like some of the information that I've passed on to you was fucking awful, you know? And thankfully you could see that and you've moved on. And that's the joy of being like, just pass on good shit. Don't listen to these fucking idiots. Oh, women are whores and blah, 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 blah. You got a good thing going on. Live it, love it, enjoy it. It's not like, not everything is going to be a dumpster fire. You might have one in your future. Maybe this is the girl for you, you know? Random pussy is great for, stags. I don't know why this is so small, but this question, hey there, big hack daddy, you fucking looser. Okay, I'm wondering if you're married or have a lady. If you do, she bust be stupid. Love the pod. Keep it up. J-Dog from Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Okay, first off, loser is 1-0, you fucking idiot. And what do you not have spell check on your phone? What do you not have? And no, I'm not married. Unreal. Jesus Christ. J-Dog from Swift Current. Or have a lady. My God, why did I even open this? Anyways, fucking, I'm not going to get into my personal life too much on here. I like to keep it somewhat separate. I like to separate this world from my like regular life world, so that way I don't have to talk to, usually, know what this ear is designed for? Okay. My personal shit, I'll just keep it because it's not that exciting. I'm not that exciting of an individual outside of Danger Cats. But my ear, what I learned when I went out Saturday to pick up the lady after she was done at a concert, is I was standing in a bar, went to go pick her up. I'm DDing, right? So I'm soaking everything in, the environment, what's going on, everything around me, the spectacle of all of this, right? And I've realized my ear is now turned into just like a political it's like a political talk box for drunks. And I say drunks respectively, okay? I enjoy the fellas out going out and having a good time and relaxing, unwinding, doing your thing, right? But I've spent so much time in the past now that just saying fuck Trudeau, man, and acting like playing into the oil field character that now my ear has become a talk box for dudes that are hammered. You'd be like, fuck Trudeau, man, like right up tight on it, dude, where I'm feeling my eardrum ring. It's hilarious. It's the greatest bit I've ever pulled. Anyways, thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Unclehack Podcast. Just a reminder, sign up to the Patreon. You can win a cooler scooter that is motorized. You don't believe me? Fine, don't. But if you sign up, you my friends, I'm going to have to move the draw date, by the way, because I will be out of town. So we are going to move that to a week later. I know. Ooh. But anyways, yeah, patreon.com/dangercats69, description down in the down below. And yeah, anyways, fucking rock on.